All right, we're going to set up a couple things. First thing we're going to set up is our baseline grid. Baseline grid is going to allow us to align our type and our copy throughout our piece. And so the way we do that is when you're in InDesign. Are you guys seeing my screen okay? Yeah, okay, good. You're going to go over, now if you're in a Mac, it's two different places. If you're in a Mac, your preferences is under InDesign, preferences, and then you can scroll down to grids. I'm on a Mac. If you are on a PC, it's under edit, and it's the last item under edit. So if you're on a PC, you're going to go to your preferences panel under edit and go to grids. Once you've done that, this window comes up. And so the baseline grid, it's called grids. The baseline grid is the first part. And it says it starts at a 0.5 inch. We want to take that and start it at 0. And we want it to say instead of top of page, top of margin, so that it's only working within the margins of your page, which is where your copy is going to be. Now, this is the important part. Increment every. Depending on what size you've determined your body copy to be and your leading, this is what we set up our baseline grid on. It's based on the body copy leading you're going to use. So like we've talked about, I think it was last week, if your body copy is, let's say, 9, then 12-point leading would be about right because it's 3 points different from 9. So if our body copy is 9 points, then our leading would be 12. If our body copy is 10, then our increment every would be 13. So we would want to make our leading match this increment every, because this is referencing the leading. I'm going to leave it at 12 just to keep it a simple number to do math with. And we want to change this view threshold down to 12.5 so that we can see it when we turn it on. And lastly, I'm going to say for right now, for our purposes, we're going to put grids, to uncheck grids in back. We want them in front so we can see them if we even put, because we put these color grids down. We want to see them in front. So to uncheck the grids in back and say, okay. So now you can see we don't see anything. What we're going to do is go to window, or sorry, view, guides, grids and guides. And we're going to say show baseline grid. And now you should see a baseline grid in front of you. Okay. Now that we have our baseline grid, we can also go on our parent page, and if we want to adjust some of our modules so they start and stop on our baseline grid, we can do that. I'm not going to worry about it right now, but that is something we can do when we're kind of finessing. Okay, so we have our baseline grid. Now we're going to work on setting up our paragraph styles and character styles. So based on, I'm going to grab the type tool, and I'm going to go back on pages. I'm going to go back to my first page. I'm going to go back on a first page. And layers, I'm going to create a new layer to work on. Oops. New layer. And my new layer is going to be my content. And that's going to be at the top. So that's where I'm going to do my work. I'm leaving these other layers alone. The grid and the other layer, I just want my content on its own. All right, so I'm going to go to pages. I'm on page 1. I'm going to grab my type tool, and I'm just going to make a type box. Okay, here's my type box. And I want to bring in my copy. I'm going to go to File, Place, and I'm going to go into did I give you guys a separate document or did I just give it? How did I give you the copy? Did I just put it in the? I think I just put it in. Hold on a minute. I'm going to cancel out of that. I think I just put it in your assignment sheet, didn't I?
Yeah, you just posted it on Blackboard.
That's what I thought. Okay. All right. So can't do it the way I was just going to say because I forgot I didn't give it to you as a separate file. So we're going to copy and paste because the way I gave it to you. One second to open up Blackboard. All right, so I'm going to open up Blackboard. All right, here it is. So here's our copy. I'm going to select our copy. Copy. Is that everything? Okay, that's everything. I've copied it, Command C. I'm going to come back over here, Command V. Now, there's a new feature in InDesign that just started in 2023. And I just copied and pasted this copy into this frame. There's a little T here. And if you click on it, it gives you options. Paste text only, paste with formatting, or auto style text. What you always want to do is paste text only because you're going to be making your own formatting. You don't want to use the formatting your client gives you or I give you or anything like that. So you want to say paste. That's what that means. So no formatting, but that's a new feature. They never had that before. And you can open up your box and kind of get your copy going. So here's the copy. It's just all dumped in there. No worries. We're gonna adjust it accordingly. So here's my copy. And my first thing is going to be my headline text. So there's my headline. I'm going to just select it. And I'm going to go to my type study and put in the choices I made in my type study. So whatever I used for my headline, I'm going to go up here. I'm in the typography workspace. So all my type tools are right, easy to reach, and they're right here handy near me. So I can choose whatever typeface I agreed with my group on that I'm going to use for my headline. All right, so I'm going to assume I'm using Arial, rounded, bold. And then I can play with like what scale my type is going to be. And you can see I have a character panel over here on the right. It's also here at the top. You can use either one. I can decide what I'm going to do. Now, I decided my body copy is 9/12. So my headline body, everything needs to be on the same baseline grid. So I'm going to be on 24 as my leading is going to be 24, which will be a multiple of 12. So I'm going to set that leading up so I can see how big do I want to make my headline that it's going to work in that size leading. Okay, so I'm going to go 18 on 24 is the size I'm going to use. So now I want to make a paragraph style that I'm going to use to use whenever I want to use a headline. So I'm going to select, actually that's just paragraph. I'm going to go up to type and choose paragraph styles. Type, where are they? Where did they go? Paragraph styles. Oh, they went to my other screen. I'm like, where did they go? Sorry. I have two screens here and sometimes things just randomly go on the other screen and I never know where they are. Let me drag it over here. Give me 1 second. Here we go. Oh, sorry. They were together and I accidentally just pulled them apart. All right, paragraph styles. So what I want to do is I've selected the type in the style I want it to be in. And I'm going to go ahead. There's two ways to add a new style. You can go from the hamburger menu and just say new paragraph style this way, or you can go down here to the plus inside the box and say new paragraph styles. Either way, I kind of like to go from the hamburger menu. And the reason is it opens up this window right away for me. So it just seems faster. This is the paragraph style document window. And what it is you're going to first name your paragraph style. So I'm going to call this a headline. It's based on nothing. I'm going to go to my basic character formats and it's choosing the typeface I've selected. So it's Arial rounded bold. It's 18 on 24. That's what I want it to be. It's, I can choose if I want the case to be normal or do I want it to be all caps, for example, or do I want it to be small caps or whatever. So I'm going to keep mine normal. I can also adjust color within my paragraph styles. So I can say character color, and I can choose a color that in my swatches that I've set up. And if you've already brought in your color palettes, your color palettes will show up here as well. So I'm going to choose green just to show you. I can then say in the bottom corner here, add to CC library. I can add all of my paragraph styles to my Creative Cloud library. And I can create a new Creative Cloud library to do that for that. And I can also preview what I'm doing if you want. So I'm going to say, okay. So now this isn't in my paragraph style yet. So there's my library. There's my Creative Cloud library. Let me go over to my paragraph styles. There's my headline. So I'm going to select my headline. It has a plus because I actually did something. I added color to it and I don't want to do that. I'm going to double click. Character color. Just go back to black. Well, there's my Creative Cloud library colors. There it is. I want that one from my library to be part of my okay, so I'm going to click off it, and there's my type in its color from my Creative Cloud library. And I'm going to add it to my library by clicking this little button over here. So now you can see there's my headline, there's my colors, there's my headline. So now I'm going to do the same thing with my body copy. I'm just going to move this over here. And I'm going to select my body copy. Oh, and you know what? There's one thing I just realized I forgot to do. It's not sitting on our baseline grid. Let me double click back on my headline. To align it with our baseline grid, we need to go to indents and spacing. And then here it says align to grid. We want to say all lines. And that will align, and you saw them just move. That will align our headline and sit it on our baseline grid. So now we're going to do our body copy. We're going to select a paragraph. We're going to say new paragraph style. Oh, wait, I have to set it first. Sorry, I didn't set it. So I'm going to go back to Arial. I'm using What am I using? I'm using Arial regular for my body. And I'm going to make it 9 on 12. And I'm going to now say new paragraph style. And this is going to be called body. Always label your styles so you know what they are. Don't let them just be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. My type's going to stay black. So I don't need to change color, but I am going to go back to that. Indents and spacing, align all lines to the grid. I'm adding it to my Creative Cloud library. And say, okay. And now it's going to automatically going in my Creative Cloud library now that I've indicated which library I want it in. So now my type is still selected. Now, mind you, I've made it off of this, but I haven't selected it. So now I can take my copy and select it. And it's now the new typeface. I can select this copy. And it automatically goes in with one click and lines to my baseline grid. And then you go through and you can continue that for every type of hierarchy you have. So the next type of hierarchy I'm going to have is this like subhead, maybe when and where. That's going to be a subhead. So I might want to go in here to, again, my typeface, which is Arial. Maybe I'll use Arial Black, but I'm going to make it, you know, like smaller. Back in my 9-point type and 12. And I'm going to go ahead and make it a color too. Hold on a minute. I'm going to make it a color, like make it purple. And then I'm going to go ahead and say new paragraph style. Subhead. And it's already selected for Creative Cloud Library. I'm going to do the indents and spacing, align to grid, all lines. Say okay. There's my subhead. I'm now going to select it. Hold on, I didn't do that. Select there. And now you can see it jump onto the baseline grid. Okay. And then you'll keep going. Now, when you notice I have all my copy in this one column, but you'll see it's not all showing up because my box isn't big enough. So if I have more copy that I want to keep going, there's a little red dot here. I'm going to zoom in so you can see it. Oh my gosh, I'm sorry, I'm making you dizzy. There we go. See this little red dot? That tells me there's more copy in my text frame that I'm using. So I'm going to select it, and you see how it loads my cursor with more text. So what I'm doing is I'm holding my space bar down to move me around on my page and to get the hand. And I want to come back up here to the top of my next panel, and I'm going to click and drag to open up a text box, and boom, there's the rest of my copy. And you can see there's another red box because there's more copy than I have the frame open for. And so that's how you flow copy from one text box to another. And you can keep doing it because you can say, okay, I'm only going to have copy on this bottom half of the page because I'm going to have a picture there. So I'm going to click that, load more copy. And then I'm going to pull that over here. And you can see I still have more, but I have another whole page. So I'm going to keep going. And you can see you can move these menus in and out of this menu bar here real easily as you need to. Okay, that's all we have time for today. Do I have any questions while I'm, here in InDesign?